lads, today we have an episode of Rate My Teams. So yeah, we have quite a different selection of teams today, so I'm looking forward to it. As you can see, we have a lot of Twitter tabs. If you guys, you know, just like, you guys want to be a part of one of these videos, Twitter link in the description. I tweet out every Saturday, send me teams. So if you guys want to be in one of these episodes, then let me know down below, or just go follow me on Twitter. So yeah, boys. So this is the first team we're looking at: Grant Hill, Trevor Ariza, Danny Ferry, Bol, Jaron Jackson Jr. This just screams. This starting five just screams just amazing. While obviously pink diamonds, 3 pink diamonds, it just shows the color doesn't really mean a lot. While obviously it doesn't look as nice, the actual quality on the court is really, really good. Justice Winslow, Kyle Korver, Paul Millsap, Kyle Kuzma, and Eddie Curry all on the bench. And overall, it's just a really nice team. It's a really, really nice team. It's nice and balanced. You got Kyle Korver who can dunk, which is still weird to say. Kyle Kuzma I'm a big fan of. Eddie Curry I'm a big fan of. The actual starting five, Trevor Ariza, believe it or not, is one of the best cards in the game right now. Bol is one of the best cards as well. Jaron Jackson Jr. is really good. I'd say if you're going to upgrade this team, I'd probably get a different center. Obviously, if you have a bit of MT to splash, obviously then go pick up a different center. But overall, I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Overall, there's a lot of goodness. There's a lot of good things going on in this team. So let's get into the next one. All right, I'm just doing this team just because look at it. Just look at it. It is absolutely beautiful. It is Knicks everywhere. Jeremy Lin, JR, Mello, Obi Toppin, Julius Randle, Frank, Quickly, Steve Novak, Al Harrington, Mitchell, Nate, Aman, and of course, Patrick Ewing on the bench. My man said, how about a theme team? Just absolute 10 out of 10. I don't care. It's just 10 out of 10. If you guys know if you got next players, it's, you know, it's probably going to give you a few more points, but 13 next players? 10 out of 10 in my book. Right, so this is a bit of an interesting one. We have JR, Kawhi, DeMar DeRozan, Zion, and D-Rob, Tyrese Halliburton, Michael Jordan, and Dirk Nowitzki. So looks like you're running an 8-man, which I have no real issue with people running an 8-man. I think DeMar's a bit weird at small forward. I don't know. Just because I don't think he's quite tall enough to be a small forward, but again, that just might be me. I don't know why you don't put like Zion at the 3 and then Dirk at the 4 or something like that. Again, but then you would have 2 shooting guards / small forwards on the bench. But again, you could probably get another, you know, power forward / center just because Zion at the 3, I think is, you know, he does create quite a lot of mismatches if you're coming up against the right player. For example, Zion comes up against DeMar. Zion's probably going to beast and feast, not going to lie. Now, imagine could you have this MJ. You probably locked in for Phil Jackson as well, so you're getting a lot of stuff. I usually run MJ over Kawhi because I like MJ's jumper better. I have 600k and Dirk is just in there if D-Rob gets injured. Okay, so you don't say anything about replacing DeMar. Now, obviously, DeMar is a really nice card in the game, but I think it was 600k. You could definitely do better. I think you could do better than DeMar. Of course, there's a few players you can get, Carmelo Anthony, but there's obviously a few players you can get. Obviously, JR, and you don't have really a tall point guard, so I maybe suggest getting like a tall point guard, maybe a Grant Hill, maybe a Penny Hardaway, somewhere like that, just in case if you do come up against like Ben Simmons or whatever, you do have something there. So overall, I give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's just I think you're missing some of those, you know, those big players like your Ben Simmons, like your T-Max, like your things like that. But overall, it's a really, really solid. In the future, if you do want to be in a future Rate My Squad video, what I do is I tweet out on Saturday. Send me your teams. The tweet will look something like this. But yeah, this is how you send me your teams. If you guys are enjoying the video, smash a like on the video. It does help me out in the YouTube algorithm. It helps the channel grow. It helps you support your boy. So all the support you guys show is well and truly appreciated. So yeah, let's carry on. All right, this team is just ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. What is up with you guys sending me amazing teams right now? We have Ben, we have DeMar, Rudy Gay, Giannis, Shaq, insane starting 5. Kevin Durant on the bench. Why are you not starting KD with DeMar? I know DeMar's nice, but KD though. Grant Hill, KD, Kawhi, Blake, and D-Rob. Man, this team is insane. I'd say, obviously, I think the main link you have is Rudy Gay, or the main weakness you have is Rudy Gay. But even still, calling Rudy Gay a weakness, it's not really saying a lot, is it? Overall, it's a really, like, it's a 10 out of 10. Like, there's not really much else to explain. Again, maybe a 9.5, because you... Nah, 10 out of 10. What is up with you guys sending me 10 out of 10s? This is just Steph, JR, Zion, KG, Wilt. I mean, to be fair, there's quite a of all the like dark matters, I'd say that's probably the most budget dark matter you could have. Obviously, Steph is obviously quite cheap. JR is free. Zion, I'm not too sure how much he is because there's the comic book version. Kevin Garnett, he's about 200k. Wilt's about 200k as well. It's just dark matters everywhere. Like, goddamn, man. Grant Hill, DeMar, Mello, Mel Daniels, Chris Block. So the issue I have with this, right, is while they all are dark matters and they all are incredible, they're the worst Dartmans. Like, you don't have your T-Max, you don't have your Ben Simmons. Obviously, they are still phenomenal cards, but you don't have your Shaquille O'Neals, you don't have your Blake Griffins. Obviously, your MT is quite a bit low at the moment. But overall, I'd probably give it a 9.5, just because I think you are missing those key big boy Dartmans, if you get me. But overall, it's a really, really solid team. Alright, anyway, we have another 10-man. Steph Curry, JR, Rudy, Bobby Jones, Bol. I'll be honest, I thought I'd already done this team just because this starting five is quite familiar. Donovan Mitchell, Jerry Sloan at shooting guard. Okay, fair. Kawhi Leonard, Julius Randle, and D-Rob. In terms of like, we'll go through starting five. Starting five is really, really good. Steph, and a lot of people don't like Steph, I'm a big fan of Steph. You could argue, obviously, your backcourt is a bit small. But, I mean, even your subs could be a bit small as well. So maybe potentially get like a backup like point guard that is a bit taller. For example, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, and Chris Webber, someone like that. Rudy Gay, no issues with. Bobby Jones, no issues with. Bol, of course, no issues with. Donovan, I think he's slowly getting past the power curve, especially just because the boy is small. Jerry Sloan, no really issues with him. Kawhi Leonard, no issues with him either. Julius Randle, of course, no issues with him. And D-Rob, I give this a solid 8. I think, again, you are missing most of the key players you're needing in your team. Like, you could obviously chuck in a few Dartmans in the team, but overall, I don't really have much to complain about, I'll be honest. Alrighty, so we have Mr. Daniel over here. We have Luca, comic book Luca. Alright, interesting. DeMar DeRozan, Danny Ferry, Bol, Wilt Chamberlain, Ron Harper, Kyle Korver, Rudy Gay, Obi Toppin, and Dirk Nowitzki. So, again, it's a very, very solid team. You guys are on the ball right now with your teams. Luca is really good. DeMar, really big fan of. Danny Ferry, of course, he's still amazing. Bol, amazing. Will Chamberlain, he's still really, really good. Ron Harper, I'm not a massive fan of him, but I know some people do really like him. Kyle Korver, he's a bit inconsistent for me, but maybe he's consistent for you. Rudy Gay is really good. Obi Toppin and Dirk are really good as well. In terms of like improvements, say maybe get replace Obi Toppin and Dirk. As I say, that does hurt for me to say. And Kyle Korver, with the shooting guards that are currently in the game now, like your pink diamonds and your opals, you could probably get a better one than Kyle Korver. But overall, I give it a solid 8. Yeah, we'll give it an 8. Alrighty, you know what I like is I don't have to move my webcam. It is kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. We have JR, Bradley Beal, Brandon Ingram, Danny Ferry, Dirk Nowitzki, Chris Webber, Billy Owens, Bobby Jones, Ron Harper, Nikola Jokic, Billy Cunningham, Darren Williams, and Obi Toppin. I like that you snuck Obi Toppin in on the bench. I kind of like it. So this bench is confusing the hell out of me. I don't know what you run, because obviously point guard, shooting guard, power forward / small forward. And you have Ron Harper in you. So, I don't know what you run. Whether you run like Billy Cunningham at the 4 and then Jokic at the 5. I think that's what you're doing here. Or maybe Obi Toppin at the 4 instead. But again, a bit of an interesting one there. But overall, I'm quite a big fan of it. I'm not a massive fan of Bradley Beal. I'd probably start Billy Owens over Bradley Beal. Not gonna lie. And or maybe put Ingram at the 2 and then start Bobby Jones at the 3. I think that might be I think overall, just into like swapping your lineup, I think that might be the better thing to do. But overall, it's a decent team. There's a lot of opals here, and there's a lot of like decent budget opals that I like in this team, like Brandon Ingram, like Dirk, like Chris Webber. Obviously, Bobby Jones is in there as well. There's a lot of decent budget cards, so I'll give this a solid 7.5. And maybe look at like the pink diamonds and the opals, because there are some opals and even some pink diamonds you can buy that are quite cheap at the moment that I think could improve your lineup. So maybe look into it. Alrighty, we have Rajon Rondo, Donovan Mitchell, HDB, Danny Ferry, Jaren Jackson Jr., quickly, Kyle Kuzma. Again, another one who doesn't sort a bench out. What are you doing? Guys, please, Lewis, please. I know. Just Lewis, please. Please sort your bench out. We have Obi Toppin, Horace Gilmore, Kermit Washington, Darren Fox, Andre Miller, and Steve Nash. How many point guards do you have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 point guard / shooting guards on your bench. Please, if you're watching this, please let me know why in the comments. I'm really, really curious. But I think your bench definitely needs some work in terms of that. Whether you don't play these 3 or not is another thing. But obviously then that's just eating up your contracts potentially. Unless they're on the bench for like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know why you'd have this many on the bench. I get like maybe having 1 point guard and then maybe another point guard to like have like a different dynamic. Maybe he's taller. Maybe he can slash more. Maybe he's better at shooting. But 4 point guards on your bench? That's an interesting one for me, to say the least. Overall, though, it is a decent team. I do like Rondo. While he is a bit small, I do like Rondo. I think you could maybe start, like... Again, I'm not a massive fan of Donovan at the shooting guard, I'll be honest. Imagine this Donovan comes up against Kevin Durant. You're probably going to be boned, not going to lie. Ruby, massive fan. Danny Ferry, massive fan. Jaren Jackson Jr. Like, your front court No issue here. No issue with your front court whatsoever. Your back court, a bit too small for me, in my opinion. And again, the players that you're subbing on potentially for them are small as well. So you don't really have like a different dynamic if, you know, they have a Ben Simmons, if they have a not a Danny Ferry, if they have like a Penny Hardaway, you're pretty screwed, I'll be honest. So I maybe look to get a different point guard, maybe a bit of a taller one to obviously offer a bit more variety in your lineup. But I give it a solid 7. It's a decent lineup overall. Alrighty, so we're on to Discord. Now, kind of about to see which picks will suit. Nah, I'm kidding. But we have Penny Hardaway, MJ, Zion, Bobo, Will Chamberlain, Justice Winslow, DeMar DeRozan, Paul Millsap, Mal Daniels, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You start Wilt over Kareem. But starting wise, like, I love the stars. Penny I'm a big fan of, MJ I'm a big fan of, Zion big fan of, Bobo, Will Chamberlain, all a massive fan. Now your bench. I don't have many issues with the bench. I think Mal Daniels is slowly starting to get a bit outdated. Maybe that's just me because I don't really see Mal Daniels a lot in game, so maybe that's just me. But Justice Winslow I'm a big fan of. I think maybe you could look at getting, I don't know, like the thing with Winslow is he's tall, he can shoot, he can slash, he can defend. So if that's all you need for now, he's definitely a decent card. DeMar DeRozan, again, I do like the card. I do like the DeMar DeRozan card. Millsap, he's surprisingly a decent card as well. When he came out, I didn't think he would be, but he's actually all right. I maybe improve Mal Daniels. Like, I don't know. To be honest, you could probably go out and get an Opal power forward, and he'd probably be better. I'm not gonna lie. But apart from that, it's actually an alright team. Like, there's a lot of budget. There's a lot of expensive. I think maybe you could like maybe downsize somewhere. Like maybe actually no, I kind of like the Zion in there. Do you have like a lock-in of like one of the coaches? Because he's Zion's here, so maybe you should get the regular Zion. I know you do get obviously this Zion. I think has got a bit of a boost, but I don't think it's that significant. But overall, I give it a solid 7. Like it is a decent team. It's not a team that I would run personally, just because obviously I like my big boy cards. Like obviously the Grant Hills. I need to stop recommending Grant Hill, but he is quite phenomenal, to be honest. So yeah, overall though, decent team. And that's gonna do it for the video, boys. Again, guys, if you do want to be in a Rate My Team squad video, again, Discord link is in the description if you guys want to obviously come onto the Discord. As you can see, I post this, post your team for the Be in My Rate My Squad video. And then essentially, obviously I will then tweet out as well. If I show you the tweet, this is what the tweet I send. Boys, send me your teams. And you guys send me your teams in absolute droves. So yeah, boys, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys have enjoyed the video, smash a like on the video. It does help me out a ton. And subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Actually, because I take care. I love you all. And finally, give a massive shout out to channel members Waze, Hans, Lewis, Wallow, Casey, Magic Magpie, Michael, Mario, Kia, Hammer, Jack, Lindsay, and Josh's mum. Thank you guys so much for all your support.